And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you. Aquaba and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Cultural Conscious Communications here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and on livinginblack.com. You and I get together live weekday mornings. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time, that's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 5 p.m. BST, and 8 p.m. East African time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future study, all areas of human interaction, activity, and development. Today's day is Friday. This is the 14th day, 15th day, I should say, of August, Black August, as we call it around here. This is where you and I get together with our group and we look at what is happening with our collective destiny. Today is a beautiful day. It's a day that we start thinking about tomorrow. We plan for the future. Had we the power, had we thought about it, we would have went back and started planning so many years ago. And here, let me just take a moment and put myself on the screen. Kitty, where are you? There you are. So that's what we're up to today. We are planning for the future. And let me share with you what I have on the table for today. I hope you find it to be wonderfully fascinating, interesting, comprehensive, and well worth your attention to today. Here's what we have for today's discussion. I got excited yesterday when I received an email message. I received an email that said I had been accepted as a speaker at the 2025 Festac Renaissance Festival in Accra, Ghana. This follows by one day an invitation to begin working with the nation's Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness, and Agribusiness and Industry, Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness, and Industry, on the Business Connect by Ghana Expo. I have been assigned a very important mission by the Most High, and I accept it. Today, let's talk about the details of this mission and ask as to what part you will wish to engage to make our mission a success. Is this the commencement of our repatriation to the motherland? I think this is the commencement. I have two friends, and I talk to them. I talk to one of my friends a few times a week, Brother Daoudi Mahali. He is in Akosombo region, the eastern region of Ghana. And I have another friend, Brother Meredith, who I follow Meredith very closely. Meredith is getting very difficult for me to follow because Meredith is just so incredibly busy. I was talking to Meredith yesterday and surprised that Meredith was in LA. I thought he might have been in Kenya or southern part of Africa, Bakalava, I should say. Let me get this name of this kingdom right. I know it sounds like baklava, but it's not baklava. I think it's Bakolokoi. Let me confirm that right now, if you don't mind. We're going to talk about the African kingdom. Please don't do that. African kingdom, Bakalava, Bakhalava. That's not it. List of African kingdoms and empires in Africa. And give me a second. But, oh, I have it here. The Bakalabakoi. Oh man, why is it so difficult? And I don't want to waste your time while I'm fishing around in my memory for something. Let me try one more thing. I'm going to try this. I'm going to go through to documents, and I'm looking for BHA, and it's not showing up there. 1 second. BHA. And we don't have time to look for that right now. BAH. And I know I typed it in there, but I just don't see it right now. So that's not that important. He, my friend, Meredith Beale, and he's going to be with us early in the week next week. He has a long record in Africa. He just celebrated his 10th year after repatriation. My brother Daoudi, he's been in Africa for 17 years. And Meredith is in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. That's his home port. But he is advisor to the king of the region in South Africa. And as a consequence of his activities, he travels constantly. In fact, he was the one who invited me to sign up to go to the Festac. And I did get the notice yesterday that yes, my presentation was accepted. In fact, they wrote to me, they said, let me give you what they said, and then I'm going to give you a description of what Festac is. So this one is, oh, I have two different documents up on the table. I also have the brass ring documents, but I'm not looking for that. Come on, Kitty, get it together. I should have done all of this before the program today. This is the Festac agenda and the high-level draft conference agenda. And that one is not open up. It cannot open it up. And you don't want me to go through my emails, but I was accepted. I will be speaking. And let me describe to you what is Festac. And I do have the conference agenda here in hand. Festac. Ghana, this is from a news article, Ghana to host Festac 2025, written by Tofarati Ige, the 14th of June, 2025. And this article appeared here. Let me copy, cut, and paste the article for those of you who do wish to follow along. And where is it? Here it is. Oh boy, I am a mess today. Where is it? Chat. Okay. If you wish to follow it up on YouTube, I'm going to also paste it here for my Facebook page. And here's what it has to say. Ghana to host Festac 2025. And here's what it has to say. Accra, the capital of Ghana, has been announced as the official host city for the 2025 edition of the Festac Africa Renaissance Festival, a major Pan-African cultural event scheduled to take place from September 21st to 27, 2025. The announcement was made by the Ghana Tourism Authority, the government of Ghana, and the chairman of the Festac Africa Renaissance Festival, Yinka Abioye, who described the event as a, quote, powerful celebration of Africa's unity heritage, and shared future, unquote. A statement shared with Saturday Beats noted, quote, described as more than just a festival, Festac Africa 2025 is being positioned as a cultural revolution, a moment of continental awakening that champions Pan-Africanism, cultural reclamation, and economic transformation. Abioye added, Festac Africa 2025 is not just an event, it is the heartbeat of a rising continent. Ghana stands ready not only to host, but to unite Africa in spirit, purpose, and pride. From the land of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, a new Africa shall rise. It added, September 21 marks the birthday of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's founding father and a key figure in the Pan-African movement. The week-long celebration will end on September 27, which coincides with World Tourism Day, a globally recognized moment that aligns with the festival's vision of positioning Africa as a cultural and economic hub. The theme for the 2025 edition is, quote, harnessing health, culture, trade, climate change, gender equity, and tourism for sustainable economic growth. Again, what is the theme? Harnessing health, culture, trade, climate change, gender equity, and tourism for sustainable economic growth. Organizers say this theme is a bold call to action that places culture at the center of Africa's development agenda while recognizing the importance of environmental responsibility. Inclusive governance, and public health. Rather than treating these issues in isolation, the festival seeks to weave them together as strategic pillars for lasting growth. Harnessing culture, tourism, and bear with me, this has got something, it's putting something on my desktop that I'm not so much needing right now. Harnessing health, culture, trade, climate change, gender equality, and tourism for sustainable growth. So let's break those down into their individual pieces. And realizing that what we have been doing here at LIB Radio is undeniably connected to all of these: health, culture, trade, climate change, gender equality, and tourism. As well as sustainable economic growth. I have a number of books that I pulled out for today's conversation, and I welcome you, our listening audience, to participate. Excuse me for being a little scattered. You wouldn't believe what I've been working on this morning. I've been doing a lot of work this morning. I have been in all of these books putting this conversation together. The first book is from late 2023. I authored a bunch of books that year, 10 books. This one was the last one of the year, Forged by Fire, Post-COVID, African Healthcare and Sustainable Development. Okay, now why is this one here not moving? Oh, it's not moving because I don't have it turned on. Okay, I have Standard Omission. This is a science book, The African Scientific Roots of Greco-Roman Medicine. This is not just a science book, this is also a history book. It preserves our cultural heritage. I have in mind a futurist book. Now, I want to say this to those of us living in the diaspora. And I'm not going to cuss. I wish I could cuss, but I'm not going to cuss. This country has lost its mind. It's because this country has been taken over by an evil sub presence called MAGA. MAGA has made it very difficult, if not impossible, for Mexican or Hispanic people to be in this country. And the ones that are here, it's going to get harder. But it's going at the edge of them. It's chipping away. MAGA, after chipping away at them, because we as African people who are not legal immigrants, we were not legal immigrants, we were illegal immigrants, but it wasn't our doing. We were kidnapped and brought here for the large part. And yeah, I know there's some people who are going to say, well, we were here before that. I heard all of that before. And it doesn't make enough sense for me to comment on it right now. But I can if you want. We were kidnapped and brought here. No one in my family line ever renounced the African in our heart, in our spirit, of our culture, of our history, of our past. No one ever renounced it and said, okay, we'll join with you kidnappers and we'll build up this America. We were forced to do so. And now we are in a situation where this country has been taken over by the same mentality that made America great in the first place, by kidnapping, by torture, by genocide, by murder, by theft. That's how America got great. And it says, they say they want to make America great again. Don't even pretend like you don't know what that means. I was listening to a documentary biography on Walter Williams yesterday. And this is the Walter Williams, conservative Walter Williams, economist. And although he makes sense on a number of topics, the whole black conservatism movement is really off base. It's really off base. So people like Shelby Steele were hauled out. Larry Elders was hauled out. And others of that right-wing mentality. As I said, Walter Williams as an economist makes sense. But the thing that gets me is when Walter Williams, the economist, starts pulling out that American flag and his loyalty to the Constitution and talking about this is the greatest government ever, I had to turn it off. Couldn't listen to it. If I had a chance to have a conversation with Walter Williams, I would say, Walter Williams, should you discipline yourself to love yourself and your people who are black people? Because I can assure you, when you walk out of that room, them economists all elbow each other and said, oh boy, I'm glad that N-word is out of the room. They talk about you. Walter Williams himself talks about all of his life, all of the racist provocations that he endured. Well, he seems to have forgotten it now. This is not to provide an ongoing essay on Walter Williams, but Walter Williams, I got to show you this book, Disaster Preparedness for World Wars 5 and 6, because they are coming after you. They want you off of this planet. In 1944, Walter Williams, in 1944, Gunnar Myrdal put it in the book, An American Dilemma, the Negro Problem, and Modern Democracy. And they put it in a number of books. They say it again and again, and you apparently ignore that message. So the book is called Disaster Preparedness for World Wars 5 and 6. And I'm saying this today to my listening audience. Should you wish to engage with your brother, I'm going to do the best that I can to open up an escape route, to build the ark and to get that ark going. And I want you, our listeners, I want you to engage. I want you to participate. And personally, I want you to claim this as yours and build upon it. Build upon it for eternity. 1 second here. Let me do this, if you don't mind. I'm going to add to the stage some images. The images are of our Kujichagulia Village project. This is the project that I proposed to our African brothers and sisters. This is the image that I proposed to them. Let me add it to the stage. Sorry about that. For us to build when we get home. These are images from the Kujichagulia village. I'm just going to show you just a few. You've seen these before. And up there, of course, we see the family lounging in its roundhouse. This is an intact family. The father is there in the household with the mother of the children are in the household. That is what we propose is the reality that we wish to preserve. This is a broad view of the Kujichagulia village. These are artificial intelligence renderings, I must say. Very, very well done by a young brother, media producer in Nairobi, Kenya. And we do have Kujichagulia villages, Kenya on the plan, Uganda on the plan, and Ghana on the plan. So I will be in Ghana in September. The plan is to leave Ghana, go to Rwanda, and from Rwanda, go to Kenya. And from Kenya, chances are I will stay in Kenya, but there is a good likelihood that I may take a brief trip into Uganda to get the villages all primed up and ready to go. This is the most ambitious thing I've ever done. I'm doing it on very short notice. Why? Because Daudi, he relocated to Ghana 17 years ago. Now he is very well established there. My brother Meredith, he relocated 10 years ago, and now he is established in multiple countries to multiple kings. He told me about when he comes to Festac. I said, are you going to be staying in an Airbnb? And he said, no. I was invited to stay with the king. And there are various kings. There is no one king for all of Ghana. Ghana has multiple kingdoms. And he is being invited to be initiated into various kingdoms the same way he was initiated into the kingdom of the Bakolokoi in southern Africa. So why am I so urgent to go? It's because I'm so late. We're so late. I talk to people almost on a weekly basis who love Africa, are not afraid of Africa. But you know something? They've never been to Africa. They've never been to Africa. And that's tragic. I have been to Africa 9 times. I should have been there at least 15 or 16 times. But 9 times, that's not bad. So we're going to go back. We're going to go forward, I should say. I'm committed. Now, we need to work out the logistics of it, because I will not be representing only myself. There are a lot of Pan-Africans who want someone to represent them with integrity. I'm not going to dwell on this, but I have to let you know, and I think you already know it by now, but the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Umar Johnson, who I have been very friendly with for many years. And I've always admired Umar because of his rhetorical skills. He's very good. But the Prince of Pan-African, Umar Johnson, is broke. He's busted. He's broke. There's no money for the Marcus Garvey Frederick Douglass School. There is no money. What money there was has all been spent, all been squandered. Now, had my brother, Umar Johnson, asked me about it, I would have said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try and raise millions of dollars for a multi-million-dollar project. You'll never finish raising the money for it. Don't start from scratch. Your best bet would be to find an already existing boys' school, private boys' school, and to cooperate with them, and just integrate your project into theirs, integrate your vision into theirs. But Umar, he's not open to suggestions. I'm just going to put it at that. And I'm not going to beat up on Umar, although everyone else is. Everyone's beating up on Umar right now. I heard a group of comedians banging on Umar Johnson. They were banging on everything. They were just buck wild. But you and I need to do something, because the money it would take to educate the boys at Umar's school, if you and I were to commit a fraction of that, just 5%, 10% of that to our repatriation initiative, we could do it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that we could do it. So we're going to ask each of you to participate. I've set up a GoFundMe for today's project. And I'm going to ask you to engage with us. And here, first of all, let me pull this up. Oh, we were taking a little tour of the village, the Kuchijagalia villages. We have images from the villages. These are renderings, as I say, but we intend to go over there and to start to build these roundhouse style architecture buildings. We already have the contractor to build the buildings. Brother Brandon, we already have renderings, but they need to be turned into architectural drawings. We have an architect in Los Angeles who I think would be perfect for this. We can do it. I'm sure that we can. There are a few more images here I want to share. One of the primary images, and I love this image, is reverence for the elders. The Kuchijagalia villages, there are a dedication to the African elders who have held us up for so long. And we're going to pass this from the elders to the children. We're going to pass the baton. Before the elders are gone, the children must take the baton with absolute knowledge. We will win this relay race. We will win this relay race. We will win this relay race. We're going to do it for the children. We're going to do it for the wise, the esteemed elders. We're going to do it for brothers like my brother Yao. Brother Yao has asked me to write a chapter for his book, and I was very happy to do so. And his book is going to be published in Ghana, which is also very advantageous for me because I have 60 books that need to be published by a bigger publishing company than just one person working alone. And so, Brother Yao, he's an engineer, very highly esteemed engineer. He has been working, oh, so hard, so tirelessly. Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about you. This brother, for all that he does, he could be just kicking back, stacking up paper. But no, Yao doesn't kick back, stacking up paper. When he retired from the corporation he was a engineer for, and it was a major aerospace corporation. When he retired from that corporation, Yao kicked into overdrive, became the ambassador, or honorary ambassador to Ethiopia for culture and tourism. And Yao is building in Addis Ababa, he's building in Ghana. He's doing the real work. I had to let Yao know the other day. I talked to him. I said, Yao, I got to tell you, man, you are really appreciated. You work so hard, so tirelessly. You're so talented. And Yao, at one point, he told me, man, thanks so much for saying that. I really needed to hear that, especially from you. I say, man, anything and everything you need that I can supply, please do ask me. It would be an honor, a privilege for me to serve you. I said that to Meredith too. I said, anything and everything you would need from me, it will be an honor and a privilege to give to you. Where's so many of us? Our brother Seb Kent, brother Uzoma, Abid. He's so talented. He's a media producer. Brother Tony Washington. He's so skilled, so talented. He's a media producer. We have these geniuses here and among us, and I consider myself to be one as well. We need to now connect it all together. I'm not going to say anything negative about this group. And ultimately, Umar Johnson, the prince of Pan-Africanism, if he can humble himself and cooperate with other people, there's a place for him, no doubt. For anyone who truly, truly does believe in Pan-Africanism, we all realize it's much bigger than you and I. And if he wants to call himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism, I got no problem with that. I call myself the Conscious Rasta. Don't you know people were criticized me for that moniker, the Conscious Rasta? I didn't say I was the only Conscious Rasta. I'm just, you point at me and say, oh, there's Conscious Rasta. So I have no problem cooperating with other sisters and other brothers. There are so many of us, but there is a limited number of us. And we have got to rescue the African people across the diaspora from Donald Trump. Some of them are going to want to stay with Trump and go deeper and deeper into the quicksand called MAGA. I feel for you, but I am not one of you. Because in that quicksand called MAGA, I perceive there will be a lot of lost hopes and dreams. There are a few more images. Let me see if I can share a few more of these images from Kujichagulia village. We have the cultural purpose of the village. And here we see the drum training. There's drum and dance training for everyone who would wish them. Women and men, gender equity, yes. We will be growing our own organic vegetables according to our household needs, yes, yes, plus surplus, including African herbs in surplus for traditional African medicine. Oh, yes. Kujichagulia villages, the roundhouse is efficient, and many of you may not have ever seen the inside of a roundhouse. This is an artistic rendering of what our round houses can look like. And of course, everything we do, everything we have done is for the children. The children are our future, our past. They will inherit. but they inherit our future untainted by the remnants of the past and the present. We will have scientific labs in the Coochie villages, no doubt. Our people are science from the beginning. You saw my book, The African Origins of Greco-Roman Medicine, African Scientific Origins of Greco-Roman Medicine, Standard Omission. We will be growing food and growing food and growing food. Africa can feed the world. You heard that lecture this week. Africa can feed the world. It's true. Under the right circumstances, the right conditions, Africa can feed a total of 12.9 million people. Africa can feed the world. And in our future, in the Kuchi-Chagalia villages, the father will be reconnected to his children. See, that's one of the greatest tragedies that has happened to us across the diaspora. And Walter Williams talked about this in the documentary, and that was one thing I could not say anything in contrary to what this elder, Walter Williams, was pointing out. And he did share the blame with Patrick Moynihan, the architect of the destruction of the black family, Patrick Moynihan. But it doesn't matter what Patrick Moynihan envisioned or what he worked on. If the father is disconnected from the family, then that family is vulnerable. The mother and the children are vulnerable. I know that personally. We both, women and men, we went into it as a partnership to do it in sickness and in health and all of that stuff. But really, we should have signed a contract to our children. Kuji villages, a practical plan for self-determination. A practical plan for self-determination. So let's get this party started. We are in the middle of the month of an emergency fund drive here on LIB Radio. Black August. It's a good time. It's a great theme. Now, we have really got to get busy. We have wasted all of the time that we could possibly have wasted. If you believe in your people, if you believe in the theme of Pan-Africanism, if you believe in the power of the ancestors, the power of the Most High, we have to act. We don't have time for tripping. We don't have time for pettiness. We've come a long way, but we've got so much further to go. The fund drive is up. Bakolakoi. That's it. Bakolako. African Kingdom by Bakolakoe. That's it. Bakolakoi. Let me give you a little bit about the kingdom of Bakolakoi. This is from October 4, 2022. King declares Bakolakoi as a sovereignty. And let me just real quickly save this, copy, print, and I'm going to print it on my documents folder, and I will know the name of it once I finish printing it. Bear with me, waiting on Mr. Slow. I got a lot of stuff open on the computer right now. And this is it right here. Bakolokoi Kingdom, Southern Africa. Here's what the article has to say. King declares Bakolokoi as sovereignty. This October 4, 2022. I'm a monarchy. I'm government. This was a declaration of the king of the Bakolokoi tribe in Harris Smith, Free State. King Letsitsa Moloi III claimed that Bakolokoi are the rightful owners of the 550,000 hectares of land that cuts across the Free State, Kwame, it's called KZN, that's it's Natal province, and Mid-Val. So it cuts across Free State, Natal province, and Mid-Val. According to Moloi, Bakolokoi elders brought the land with 9,450 cows from England in 1907 after their battle. The delegation that went to England included Josiah Tshangana Gumide, John Langali Bele Dube, and Martin Luthuli, Letsa Moloi, and Palau Moloi. We, the Bakolokoi nation, declare that we are a sovereign and free society with all the rights and privileges to form a government under the monarchy of King Letsitsa Moloi III, said Moloi. The king set the record straight that he does not recognize the new constitution of South Africa, but considers the one of 1919. He wrote a letter to the presidency and to the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, COGTA, notifying them about declaring the Bakolokoi as a sovereignty. Presidential spokesman Vincent Magwena said COGTA will be the most appropriate department to respond. COGTA spokesman Legadima Leso said the king's letter spoke about the repositioning of the land, which has nothing to do with the department. All land matters should be referred to the Department of Rural Development and Land Affairs, as well as the involved municipalities. Remember, the Tolo Commission have never found the Bakolokoi kingship as a legitimate kingdom during the findings on traditional leaders' claims and disputes, Leso said. So it goes on, but I'm going to go into this right now a little bit deeper and pull this up. We have the Bakolokoi kingdom, and I'm using now Copilot AI, and we're going to describe the kingdom. And it's asking me to verify. It's going to take a second. And this stuff is very frustrating, you can imagine. It's taking too long. Verify you are human. Quick response. Describe. Come on. Let's go to another search engine. Another, not search engine, AI. I'm going to go to Braid because Microsoft's AI is just really sucky today. It really is. And it's frozen in verify. And here is the AI search from Brave. And I'm not getting an audience today. Nobody. I checked in, but the audience been frozen today at 2 people in Rumble. And that's hard to believe, but it's apparently true. Only 2 people in Rumble are even watching us, let alone are you really even interested in it. I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. I'm going to say describe the describe the Bakolokoi in 200 words. Bear with me. And people, please don't just leave me out here stranded on my own on this. Please don't. You have left us stranded on previous efforts, Pan-African efforts, but this is not the time to do that. The African kingdom Bakoloko, the Koloko tribe, also known as Ma Koloko, is a Bantu-speaking ethnic group historically located in the eastern Free State, KwaZulu-Natal, that's the word I was looking for, in Mpumalanga, and northwest provinces of South Africa, with presence also in Lesotho. They are a subset of the larger Kagatla, K-G-A-T-L-A, Kagatla, Bagatla, and Makwao people, descending from Morena Ketsi, son of Bakatia chief Tabane, who broke away from the main Bakatia group to form the Kolokoi. The tribe's early history is linked to the Bahurutse clan, with lineage tracing back to the 14th century, following a leadership crisis after the death of Malope of Masilo. The Kolokoi are distinguished by a unique linguistic blend of South Sotho and Nguni languages, a preference for paternal cousin marriage, and a traditional round hut with a conical thatch roof. Their totem is the Duiker Puti, though some groups also recognize the fowl or porcupine. The tribe's ancestral homeland, Taba Kolokoi, located near Sanderton, served as their primary settlement for over 2 centuries until the 1820s, when attacked by Matiwane and Mali Mzilikazi forced their dispersal. The Kolokoi have a long history of land dispossession, beginning with the Dutch Boer government in the 1850s and continued through the Bantustan system, which sought to erase their presence. Despite this, the tribe maintains its cultural identity and traditional leadership, with the senior house being the house of Moduli Molupi. The Kolokoi's history is marked by resilience in the face of colonial and apartheid-era oppression, including a 1906 protest to England over land laws. So that's what they were talking about with the land laws as well. Now, there is also a wiki page on this. Copy, search Brave for Bakolokoi, and I'm looking for the wiki. The Wikipedia, and this is actually going to the Kolokoi people. And there is also a YouTube video on this. Oh, it's over an hour long. No can do. I'll play it after the show, maybe. But I wanted to go to the wiki page. Wiki page, where are you at? And it was just there, and I closed it. Tell you what, for today, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it up. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody is talking to me on YouTube, as well as no one is talking to me on my Rumble page. And it's hard for me to believe, but it's apparently true that on the Rumble page, we barely have any audience at all today. So what I'm going to do is wrap it up. What's happening? Oh, that's StreamYard. And I opened up the YouTube. It's over here. And not getting any conversation at all from our YouTube page. No conversation from our Rumble page. So we're finished. We did the best we could for today. You have not heard the last of this. This is an emergency fund drive we're doing all month long for Black August. We're doing it all month long here on LAB Radio. Today is actually the anniversary of the birth of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The 15th of August, I think it is. Yeah, August the 15th is the birth anniversary of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And Marcus Garvey informed us quite a bit to repatriate. Marcus Garvey gave us great words. August 17th, I'm thinking this is the 15th. So on Sunday, we will be commemorating the 137th anniversary of the birth of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And so let us just share a few quotes from the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey in honor of his birth anniversary. I think it only appropriate. As now, you and I, in response, are considering Exodus, getting out and getting out now. Marcus Garvey's words loom large. He said, a people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Marcus Garvey said, if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. If you have no confidence in yourself, you're twice defeated. Marcus Garvey said, the man who is not able to develop and use his mind is bound to be the slave of the other man who uses his mind. Marcus Garvey said, quote, we must unite in one great bond of love and service for the good of humanity. And lastly, Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Gus is in the house. I believe it is the 17th of August, and you are right, Brother Gus. Thank you so much. Thank you for speaking up. Did you hear the early part of the show where I will be attending Festac 2025 in Ghana? That's very important. So what I'm going to do is, just before I dash out of here, I'm going to give you the link to the GoFundMe. Yes, brother Gus, yes. I am using this as a fundraiser. He said, I just tuned in. Well, I got two notices in the last 2 days. One from the Festac Africa Renaissance Festival 2025 that I have been accepted as a representative to speak there from the diaspora. I will be speaking on this topic of Kuchichakalia villages. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. And he said, oh, I thought that was Bob Marley. I thought many of us heard it first from Bob Marley, but it was actually a quote from Marcus Garvey. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, from Marcus Messiah Garvey. We needed Bob Marley to remind us who Garvey was. Many of us did. But I will be there, and I got a call the day before from the Ghana ministry. The title of the ministry is the Ministry of, do I have that here today? No, it is, you can see it up on the Fund Drive page. And we want to do the best we can to do as often as we can. We want to donate. Having donations will encourage others to donate. So share my donation link with as many as possible. I just shared it with about 4 or 5 people on the Rumble today. It's not a very big audience, 6 people. It's growing right now. Did I start early or something? I must have started earlier. He said I just tuned in. We're going to keep going for a little bit. I'm going to talk to you. I want to talk to you, brother guest. Since you are the one responding to me today, and I certainly do appreciate that. I wish you had listened from the beginning. I guess he will go back and listen to it. Because I talked about my friends, Meredith. I talked about my friend, Daoudi. I talked about my other friend, Sebket, Brother Abid Uzoma, and how we are leaders. We are the vanguard, the cutting edge, the leading tip of the spear. But behind us, to the side of us, surrounding us, we are not alone. I am not alone in this. There are times when I doubt you. You've heard me. I've doubted you all from time to time. I get pessimistic too. I get revolutionary burnout. But then you come back and you remind me, you're not alone. I'm in it with you. Yeah, people may be silent in the background, but they are in it. And we are in it to win it. There's so much I want to teach when I go home. I want to teach a class on AI and go beyond just using ChatGPT and all of those and writing letters, etc. We need to go deep, deep, deep into it. And I have a 28-day course or 28-part course on using AI on these deeper levels. I want to teach game theory for mastery, for master's level participation. Game theory. The whole planet is being competed for right now. And the others are using game theory. Do we even know what it is? Are we masters at it? We're being asked to come to a tournament of chess. The stakes are the entire African continent. Whoever wins this global game of chess wins Africa for the future. Now the winner, in order to win it, they may team up with others and say, hey, Let's team up together. Let's take Africa from the Africans and let's split it up amongst ourselves proportionately. But you have other countries like China, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, Saudi Arabia. They want Africa for themselves. They know. South Korea knows that if they can displace China in Africa to the best of their abilities, they are going to win the big game and be in position like Japan was 30 years ago, when it was acknowledged that Japan was the second largest economy on earth, and it was growing at a faster rate than America was. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever, Japan just kind of lost their mojo and ended up yielding it to China. Japan still is the third largest economy in the world. No, fourth largest economy in the world behind Germany. US, China, Germany, Japan. But the 54 countries of Africa all together make up but 10% of the American economy. 55 countries of Africa, less than 10%, or equivalent to about 10% of the gross domestic product of America. Of course, America's GDP is dead, and that doesn't really work. It's unsustainable. And we have to realize that with that unsustainable debt-based GDP, we're going to have to get out of here, because they don't want us here. They never wanted us here. They're only going to take more from us than they are able to give back to us. That is America's relationship with the American dilemma, the Negro problem, and modern democracy. And you know something? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copies of that book. I think I have 6. I have 5 copies. I sold one to my friend who's yet to pay me for it. But that's okay. He's my friend. He's a good guy. I need to sell 1 copy of An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem, and Modern Democracy. I have 2 copies of the 1944 print edition. One has an intact, no, I have 3 copies. 2 of them have an intact sleeve on them. And check for the value. If you find a 1944 print and it has an intact sleeve, chances are you will see that its value is about up to $2,500 for what I'm opening right now in this zippered package. I have a double tucked away. This is my copy. And can I even get it out of here? Please come out. An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem, and Modern Democracy. This is the 1944 edition, nearly pristine cover. In fact, the cover is covered, so it is pristine. This is the cleanest edition of this book I've ever seen. It has 0 markings in it. It doesn't even have, does it even have library markings in it? Not even library markings. This came out of someone's collection. An American Dilemma, there are no markings at all. This is absolutely pristine. So this is the one, when I talk about this is selling for as high as $2,500. This is the one right here. An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem, and Modern Democracy. I'm just going to kind of tuck it away over here. I'm not even going to open it up. I have a reading copy on this bookshelf, and then 2 more copies on this bookshelf. So if anybody wants to buy a copy of An American Dilemma, you maybe, hopefully you are with a library. I will sell 1 copy at a discount. You're not going to pay $2,500 for it. Not this year. But if you are with a library and you want a copy of An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem and Modern Democracy, you holler at your brother. We'll work it out. If you're a private collector of books, that's the one you want. Read the chapter 7 on population, and you will see why the book is so dangerous as it is valuable. I'm going to begin to wrap it up. I think I may have worn you out. Nobody is talking to me. Thank you, Gus. Gus only talks to me when he hears me make a mistake. That's okay. I have no problem with that because you keep me true, honest, and you're a good fact checker. He said, I believe it's the 17th of August. That is Marcus Garvey's birth anniversary. I said the 15th. The 15th is actually my niece in Kenya. She's my adopted niece in Kenya. 15th is her birth anniversary. I think she's 9 years old today. So bless you, sweetheart. 10 years old today. Bless you, sweetheart. And on that note, I think I've said everything I had to say. The fundraiser is up. It is up. There is one donation in the fund drive. I launched the fund drive and I donated to it $75. If you can give $25 or $20, whatever you can give, you will be greatly appreciated. I'm going to put some things up in the fund drive. Maybe we'll get some hats or some t-shirts. I have my Ghana this is the Ghana 50th anniversary t-shirt I'm wearing today. It's not yeah, it is a t-shirt. Ghana 50. This was issued for the 50th anniversary. You can see it right there of Ghana's independence. I was there. March 7. March 7, 2007. I was there for Ghana's 50th anniversary. It was an awesome day. 3 million people clammed into Black Star Square. And it was 3 days of celebration. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And that was my first trip to Ghana. I later went back 3 times, including later that year. And then I went back 3 more times. And from that trip, I was able to build, along with you, something that now we see was the beginning of our transition, our transformation from being victims of Donald Trump's second time around. And let me tell you, Donald Trump doesn't like black people. Yeah, Donald Trump don't like black people. Who was it, the rapper? Can't remember his name. Was married to the Kardashian. But he said George Bush don't like black people. Well, the same man who said George Bush doesn't like black people was cozying up to and had his hand in Donald Trump's jock, metaphorically speaking. Massaging Donald Trump's ego. But Donald Trump doesn't like black people. He despises us. That's why he picked Chocolate City. That's what Detroit was known. That's what Washington was known as, Chocolate City, as his target. He could have picked any city across America and find higher crime statistics But he picked Chocolate City. Why? Because that's where Donald Trump spends his time. And why? Because one of Donald Trump's friends apparently was mugged. I'm not making any excuses for the muggers in D.C. America has long had a crime of armed theft, theft of land. They mugged 80 nations that were established in the Western Hemisphere before Europeans came over here. They mugged, they gangstered their land from them. They gangstered your and my ancestors' bodies from Africa. Yeah, America's got a crime problem. Long has had a crime problem. You don't believe me? Ask an indigenous person who is indigenous to this land. Ask them if you can find any of them. If you can find them, ask them. If you can't find them, well, I wonder where they went. The great Iroquois nation. So many, many, many nations. Where are they now? What happened to them? Were they mugged? So, all of that to say this, you've been tuned into LIV Radio, LIV TV, and LivingInBlack.com. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for being positive, for being a part of what we are about. Don't be afraid of the fund drive. Don't be afraid. It represents you. It represents me. It represents us for our future. If you see yourself as part of this all, please do move forward. Let's move forward. If you do not see yourself as part of it all, and you just are going to stay behind, we'll move forward anyway. So on that note, I want to thank you all for being with us today. Black August, our fund drive is ongoing. You can make a donation today. Our Cash App, $KEIDIOBI. That's $KEIDIOB. You can also make a donation to our Zelle. That's at KEIDIOB@yahoo.com. And I also encourage you to click the button that's up underneath your browser it's up underneath your comment, Kanye West. That's it. Thank you, Brother Gus. He's so smart. And there's a button right underneath that comment section there. One looks like a $, the other one looks like a gift. You can click either one of those, and your donation will go right directly into our account via the dashboard, and that is on rumble.com. So we encourage you, make a donation. If you've never done so before, do it. It feels great. It's a good way of you being able to participate in your favorite LIV Radio, LIV TV, and LivingInBlack.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you. Hey, I'm out of here. We'll be talking soon. Peace out.